Hi, I'm Rebecca, I'm the Psych Coach, and today I am going to be talking to you about social magnetism. How to be socially magnetic. Some people just have a way about them that makes them attractive to be around. I'm sure you've got people in your world who are like it, and sometimes people are just born with that skill. But there are things you can learn taken from psychology that will help you develop your ability to be socially magnetic, to be likable, and to attract people. I'm going to give you 4 tips, so listen up. Tip number 1 for being socially magnetic is to like yourself. To rate yourself, to work from the basis that you've got something to add, to not beat yourself up if you make mistakes. If you're self-confident, that is attractive. If people lack self-confidence, it doesn't mean that they're really unattractive, but often you may be more inclined to attract people who want to help fix you, people who want to rescue you. Whereas if you're able to exude confidence, self-belief and self-conviction, you'll often become more magnetic in a way that isn't people wanting to rescue you, but actually people just want to hang around you. Being self-accepting is contingent on you forgiving yourself for mistakes, not beating yourself up really harshly if you do something wrong, and genuinely believing that you have value and worth in your interactions and in whatever situation you bring yourself to. Having self-worth is something you can work at. It might be that you practice affirmations in the morning. It might be that you remind yourself of your daily successes, but having worth will make you socially magnetic. Tip number 2 for being socially magnetic is adding value to a conversation. So I've just said in the previous tip that you need to work from the basis that you are adding value simply by being present, but also having an idea of what value you can bring to the person or people that you are interacting with. One really valuable thing to bring to a situation that will make you more socially magnetic is flattery, complimenting people, being nice to people. What value are you adding to that conversation? You're making them feel good about themselves. Now, I don't mean go in a really gushing way and be over the top, but genuinely think about something that you like about that person, something that they've said, something that they may be wearing. Flattery and compliments and kindness give value to other people. They're going to walk away from that situation with value added. Sometimes people think, I don't have enough things that are interesting to say to give people something value added to the conversation. They're not going to walk away having learnt something. That doesn't matter. This isn't about people walking away having learnt something. This is about people walking away with the value that they feel good about themselves, that they've had a compliment that will stick with them for a bit, that you've given them some flattery, and each time they do the thing that you flattered them about, they'll be taken back to the conversation they had with you. So value added means making people feel good about themselves. Flattery, compliments. It works. Tip number 3 for social magnetism is thinking about what excites you. If I said to you, tell me all the things that you find really boring and really dull and just run through them with me, your tone will change. You'll become less enthusiastic. And to be honest, you'll become less interesting to be around by focusing on all the things that you find boring. So think about the opposite. Think about what excites you, what enthuses you, what gets your brain buzzing. Think about the stuff that enthuses you. Talk about that and get people to talk about the stuff that enthuses them as well. You'll be able to see the difference with people when they're talking about something that they aren't particularly enthused about versus something they are enthused about. And you drawing on the stuff you're enthused about will make you more likable and more magnetic because you're going to be enthusiastic and coming across as really positive. But getting people to talk about what enthuses them really allows for a positive and engaging conversation. Don't get people to talk about the negative stuff. Ask them what they enjoy. Ask them what gives them a buzz in life. Ask them what they feel enthusiastic about, because that is where you're going to get engagement and people wanting to talk to you more. And my final tip, which leads quite nicely off the back of what I've just spoken about, is avoiding negativity. Constantly moaning is unattractive. Constantly gossiping may be fun, but ultimately it's unattractive. And when I talk about unattractive, I mean unattractive from a social situation. It might be nice with your chums to get together and have a bit of a gossip, but ultimately presenting in a really negative way, constantly being like Eeyore, for example, doesn't make you socially magnetic. In fact, it makes you quite the opposite. Most people aren't going to want to engage in a conversation with you or be drawn to you if you're being kept in negative. So instead, try very hard to avoid the gossip, try and avoid the negative, and engage in the positive, enthusiastic stuff. I don't mean to say that you must never talk about anything negative, because of course there are going to be times when people are going through negativity, when there's negativity in the news and you want to engage in conversations about that. That is fine, but just be aware that constantly focusing on the negative doesn't help you be socially magnetic. It doesn't typically attract people to you. Think about the people who you naturally warm to and what traits they exhibit. It's highly likely it isn't oodles of negativity, it isn't oodles of self-downing, but it's more things that you find interesting, things that they're enthusiastic about, and conversation that feels quite enjoyable to discuss. If you've enjoyed today's tips, please do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let me know how you've got on with putting some of these things into practice.